Whether thou art a ghost that hath come from the earth, or a phantom of night that hath no home, or one that lieth dead in the desert, or a ghost unburied, or a demon, or a ghoul, whatever thou be until thou art removed, thou shalt find here no water to drink. Thou shalt not stretch forth thy hand to our own. Into our house enter thou not. Through our fence break through thou not. We are protected, though we may be frightened. Our life you may not steal, though we may be scared to death.
Welcome to Scared to Death, Creeps, Peepers, Roberts, and Annabelles. I'm Dan.
Hello, Dan. I'm...
Lulu Marie.
still Lulu Marie.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was just thinking about it for 1 second.
All right. Quick merch announcement, Lulu Marie. We have some new stuff in the store at badmagicproductions.com. We have new stuff every month, actually. Especially love Logan's recent Smooth Exorcist design. Like a little Michael Jackson horror mashup.
Smooth Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun,
Very
dun,
cool
dun, dun.
graphic.
Yeah, I like it too.
And then you were going to talk about our street team.
Yes, I am going to talk about our street team. Thank you, Dan. So I'm excited to share that once again, we are promoting the Bad Magic Street Team. The sticker packs will hit the store on September 8th at 12 noon Pacific time, so in about a week. Every round has just been an absolute blast. We thank you guys so much for just slapping these stickers all over the world. We love receiving emails and social media tags showing off the stickers, both now and then when people find them like years later. It's so fun.
Yeah.
The stickers are free. You just pay for shipping. But there are only 500 packs of stickers available. They're on a first-come, first-served basis. Once they're gone, that's it. And please, guys, 1 pack per person. Like, we're working on the honor system here, but, could you please, be considerate of your other creeps and peepers and other fellow meat sacks. Once you receive your stickers, you just slap them all over the place, snap a picture where you put them, and then post them to Instagram and Facebook using the hashtag Bad Magic Street Team. That's it. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Very easy. The winner will be announced on November 3rd, and the winner will receive a $200 gift certificate to our merch store. So just pay attention to socials to find out who wins. We'll try and get you via email from your order, and we will announce it on the show, but we record in advance, so there could be a bit of a delay. But we'll find you. And the goal is to have fun.
Yeah, have fun and thank you.
Don't do anything stupid. Don't go sticking stickers where they don't belong. And we do have to say this one legal disclaimer. Bad Magic will not be held liable for any misplaced or illegally placed stickers. Please use discretion and be smart.
And have fun. And how many horror stories do you have to share with us from those sent into mystory at scaredtodeathpodcast.com this week?
Yes. And just remember, only stories go to that email. Everything else goes to info@scaredtodeathpodcast.com.
Yeah.
I see some folks getting mixed up. I have 2 stories. My first is about an interesting and mysterious visitor. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
And my second story takes us camping in the Navajo Nation.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you.
All right. My first story is about a supposedly haunted or maybe possessed doll in Japan, pretty well known, Okiku. I will share the lore surrounding Okiku and a modern encounter claim. And then my second story is a fun and weird one. Comes from an anonymous college student who got a lot more than they bargained for while they were shopping for furniture on Facebook Marketplace. And I can't say much else without giving it away, so I won't.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you're socked up and ready for horror, I'll get started.
Okay, well, I have these really fun Fafo socks. Fuck around and find out.
Nice, yeah.
And they come from fan Jessica Simon. So thank you, Jessica. She sent us like this awesome sort of just like care package box with so many goodies in it.
Jessica.
And so many socks over the next coming weeks coming from Jessica.
Awesome.
Love it.
Here we go. Time now for the tale of Okiku the doll. This first one takes us all the way to Japan, to the frigid northern island of Hokkaido, to a little Buddhist temple in a quiet city, and to one of the most unsettling haunted objects in the world. A doll that seems to age, to grow hair, maybe even teeth. Some say it's a centuries-old spirit binding ritual that's gone wrong. Others say it's grief given a physical form. If some of the stories are true, this doll has been inhabited by something unnatural, possibly the spirit of a young girl for over 100 years. Let's start at the beginning of this legend. In 1918, a 17-year-old boy named Akichi Suzuki was visiting the city of Sapporo on the northern island of Hokkaido. He was there to attend some sort of marine exhibition, but it was something entirely different that ended up capturing his attention: a doll in a shop window. It was a traditional styled doll for the time, made of porcelain, with a pale face, black glass eyes, a tiny red mouth. She wore a classic kimono and had a neat black okappa haircut, this traditional Japanese bob with blunt bangs. Something about the doll struck Okiku deeply. Maybe it was her expression, subtly mournful. Maybe it was the way her eyes seemed to follow him. Whatever it was, he bought it without hesitation as a gift for his beloved little sister, Okiku. Little Okiku, just 2 years old at the time, fell in love with her doll immediately. She named it after herself, and the two were inseparable. The doll slept beside her, ate meals with her, even joined the little girl in family prayers. Okiku would talk to her doll for hours, whispering secrets and baby gibberish to it like it was a real friend. But then, tragedy struck. In 1919, just a year after receiving her beloved doll, little Okiku grew suddenly ill, very ill. Some versions say it was pneumonia, others say yellow fever, which was plaguing Japan at the time, or Spanish flu, which was also burning through Japan. Still others say a sudden fever with no known cause. Back then, it was obviously a lot harder to diagnose illnesses than it is now. It could have been of any of so many different sicknesses. Whatever it was lethal. And within days, the once bubbly little girl was dead, and she was only 3 years old. Her parents and brother were understandably devastated. One day, their little sister and daughter was giggling, playing with her doll, causing mischief like toddlers do, wanting to be held, crying when she was tired and squealing when she was tickled, and then, not even a week later, she's gone forever. It happened so suddenly, such a tremendous shock. In their grief, her family placed her beloved doll on the family's household altar for ancestral spirits, and for the spirit now of Okiku. The doll was meant to be a kind of spiritual tether, something for Okiku's soul to stay close to. They offered food to it, prayed to it, and treated it as though it were still part of the family. And then, if the legends are true, strange things began to happen. The family started to hear disembodied whispers and giggles in the night. Lights would flicker. Objects near the altar seemed to move. At first it was subtle. A candle burning when her parents and brother were certain it had been snuffed out. The doll slightly tilted and seemingly looking in a different direction than it had been before. Later, the supernatural activity grew more intense, things falling from shelves, doors opening and closing on their own, the sound of someone walking near the altar when no one was there, or a little girl's voice, Okiku's voice, humming a lullaby that no one remembered teaching her when she was still alive. The family also began to dream about Okiku. And occasionally, when they would wake up, the doll would reportedly be by their side, sitting in the bed, silently staring at them. The doll would now start to be found all over the home, as if it were moving about on its own. And then there was the matter of the doll's hair. The black bob that the doll had come with had begun to grow, slowly but noticeably. It became unruly, long. The ends began to fray like real hair, not synthetic fibers. The Suzukis were shocked to discover that the texture and color didn't match the doll's original manufactured hair. It now looked eerily human. The family came to believe, after consulting with local spiritual leaders, that the spirit of their little Okiku had taken up residence inside the doll. And rather than being afraid, they found comfort in this idea. For nearly 2 decades, they kept the doll in their home and treated it with love and reverence. But in 1938, when the family was forced to move to the mainland for work, they made a painful decision. They didn't want to risk angering Okiku by taking her too far from her homeland. So they entrusted the doll to a group of Buddhist monks at the Menenji Temple in Iwamizawa City. The monks accepted the doll and allegedly almost immediately began experiencing the same strange phenomena. Priests claimed that Okiku would visit them in their dreams, that her hair continued to grow, now sometimes reaching as far as the doll's knees. They claimed to hear the doll whispering to them, asking them things, including to trim its hair, so they did. Over and over again, always returning it to a tidy bob. Years later, one of the priests allowed a sample of the hair to be tested. The result? Human, and from a child. The monks understandably refused to allow the doll to be disassembled, though, for further testing. Today, Okiku still resides at Menenji Temple. Her face is delicate and pale. Her robes are intricate. Her hair, thick and black, is cut into a traditional shoulder-length bob. But photos are strictly forbidden, and visitors are warned not to touch the glass case that holds her. Finally, a last disturbing piece of lore long associated with this doll. Some claim the doll's mouth, since it moved to the temple, has begun to open, recently revealing tiny white bumps that resemble human baby teeth, as if the doll is still slowly becoming more alive. This next part comes from a post found by a woman named Marissa Kane, a school teacher from Vancouver, Canada. In 2019, she said she traveled solo to Japan for her 30th birthday. She said she wanted to experience, quote, a quiet sense of awe, and she got more than she bargained for. She wrote, I had this list of weird places I wanted to see, urban legends, haunted spots. I'm that person. I knew about Okiku the doll before I went to Japan, and even though the stories creeped me out, I felt weirdly drawn to her. Like, haunted doll pilgrimage, I guess? Anyway, I made it up to Iwamizoa, which was harder than I thought it'd be. The Menenji Temple is tucked into this older part of the city that's really quiet. It was a gray afternoon when I arrived, cold for May, and empty. Not a single other tourist was around. The temple grounds were beautiful, simple and well-worn, stone lanterns covered in moss and cherry blossoms just past bloom. But there was also this heaviness in the air. Like the quiet wasn't peaceful, it was expectant. I found the building that housed Okiku. It wasn't marked, not really. But when I stepped inside, I knew. The air changed and I felt this weird drop in pressure, like the inside of my ears went fuzzy. The room was dim but not dark, and there were statues standing about on the wooden floors. There were a bunch of lit candles, too. And then there was the case. I almost didn't see her at first. She was smaller than I expected. Maybe 14 or 16 inches tall. But her presence felt huge. My heart started pounding out of nowhere. I don't scare easily, but I swear to you, when I looked at her face, I felt something looking back. Not a presence, not energy, not a vibe, but like an actual being. Her hair was perfect. Too perfect. Shoulder length and shiny. And it was unmistakably real. You could see individual strands that had split at the ends, like someone hadn't used conditioner in months. Then I noticed the mouth. It was small, delicate, and closed, but not all the way. It looked different than in the photos I'd seen online, more relaxed, like it could definitely open. I thought about taking a picture, even though that was forbidden. My phone was in my jacket, and I reached for it. But then I felt a strange heat. I felt it all over my body, like the worst sunburn, like every inch of my skin wanted to crawl off of me and leave. I gave up on grabbing my phone. Instead, I dropped my arm and whispered, I'm sorry. To no one. Or I guess to Okiku, who I definitely thought was alive now. And I swear I heard the doll whisper back. Just one word, not in English, but somehow I knew what it meant. She said, stay. I didn't. I panicked and I bolted out of the building. I ran back into the courtyard and didn't look back. I don't think I even breathed until I was about 3 blocks away. That night, I dreamt of a girl with long black hair. Only in the dream, the hair didn't stop growing. It spilled over her shoulders, over the floor, up the walls, and it just kept growing and growing and growing until it filled up the whole room. And then she turned to look at me, and when she did, her mouth opened, and she had a full set of teeth, and she said my name. Marissa said that in the months that followed, she started to notice her hairbrushes going missing, that her bathroom mirror would fog up, even when she hadn't used hot water, and once she says she found a single black hair growing out from the center of her palm. When she yanked it out, she says it bled, and the next morning, it was back. She said it still grows and she still plucks it, and every once in a while she still dreams of Okiku, and in her dreams the doll will say to her, you came to me, you said you'd stay. Is Okiku nothing more than a creepy old doll with a tragic backstory? Or something darker? Is something darker going on inside that glass case in Hokkaido? Is the hair real? And it seems that it is. Where is it coming from? Could the doll really be the resting place of a spirit? Or is she something else entirely? And is there a chance that someday she might disappear because she'll not be a doll any longer? She'll be alive.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, at the very least, it's a creepy urban legend.
Very creepy. I would like Marissa to immediately go get hair laser removal on the center of her palm.
Get rid of her weird cursed hair.
That's so weird.
I know that is. I've never heard of something like that.
But I'm like, is she exaggerating? Please be lying. Can you
I know.
please be lying?
I know.
Please say that you just like took it too far.
Yeah. Or
Marissa, are you listening to our show? Tell us you're a liar.
I know. It's like does something like infect her from that thing? Yeah. Yeah.
That's so creepy. She's like a haunted Japanese Rapunzel.
Yeah. Good reference. Yeah.
Ugh.
I have a few pictures, and I don't know. Okay, I'm going to show 3 different pictures that are all very similar looking, but not exactly the same. I'm pretty confident that one of these is the doll, but it's hard to tell online.
Oh yeah, because you can't take pictures of her.
Yeah, well, you can't take pictures of her, and people will just post pictures that they'll say is her. But since they look different, some of them have to be making it up.
Okay.
So this first one is supposedly Okiku the doll on display at the Menenji Temple in Iwamizawa. This shows up on a website called, it's in a different language. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like maybe like Indonesian or something, but oh my God. I don't know. ANANDABAZAR.com.
Anadabazar.
Yeah.
I couldn't follow fast enough. But sure, it's okay.
And then, so that's that one. And then, or maybe this is Okiku from Japanese-urban-legends.fandom.com. Come on. Turn the thing. There we go.
No.
I don't think that one's real. I think the first one maybe.
I don't think the second one is real. That feels the most real.
Yeah, me too. This third one, and this is from infamoushorror.com. But
Just because like the story goes that she's wearing her like an elaborate kimono style outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the qualifications are for a kimono, so I don't know if that is exactly it. But yeah, she's wearing like a very elaborate
her hair's long
outfit.
Here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The hair does look human in that photo. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, I know some of them, they don't look human. And there are some people, I will say there's a lot of speculation on this, doll, tons and tons of speculation. And some say that like, well, yeah, her hair is human because they would make dolls with human hair at that time.
Okay.
Others say no.
But the fact that the monks were cutting it and it's growing back.
Right. And it's like, obviously I can't like go track down these monks and be like, did you really say that? It's just what people are saying online. They're saying that the monk said.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You just get on the next flight to Japan. You go right to this temple.
What's the truth?
Say more, Buddhist monk. They wouldn't even talk to you.
No, probably not.
No. Don't they take a vow of silence?
Nah, maybe some, but not all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this last one feels plausible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
It's a creepy ass story.
It is a creepy story. The hair thing's really creepy.
The hair thing is so creepy.
Mm-hmm. You ready to leave Japan now, or do you have more?
No more Rapunzel for me.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next story. Time now for the tale of Come Sit With Me. My buddies Ty, Evan, Felix, and I moved into our new apartment 3 months ago. We're all juniors, and this is our first time living off campus. Because we're all broke, for the first 2 months, the only furniture we had here, besides our beds and stuff, was a tiny kitchen table with 2 stools that we found in an alley, a TV in the living room sitting on some plastic crates, and a blow-up mattress that we used as a couch until it popped. I kind of thought we would never get any real furniture, because again, we're all broke, and also, it didn't really bother us. We all thought our random assortment of crap was pretty funny. At least we all did until Ty started dating this girl Kelsey, and realized she probably would not be super inclined to sleep with him if he brought her back to a shithole like that, which was probably true. So he started shopping around for an affordable, nice-ish looking couch to replace the blow-up mattress. Eventually, he found one on Facebook Marketplace that someone was just giving away for free. The description on the listing said, leather couch, worn but in great condition, very comfortable to sleep with. Few small stains on middle cushion, pickup only. I remember Ty and I both thought it was super weird that the dude selling the couch had written sleep with instead of sleep on. We assumed it was probably a typo that he hadn't caught, or at least that was what we hoped. We also joked that the small stains were probably from all the times he fucked the couch. The guy's profile was really weird. Instead of an actual name, his name was only listed as Free Couch, and his profile picture was the same dimly lit, low-quality picture of the couch that he had put in the listing. Under seller info, It also said that he had joined Facebook in 2025. Like, who is old enough to have a couch, but has also just joined Facebook? As weird as this all was, we figured that he was probably just an old guy who wanted to get rid of a couch and was not all that social media literate. And even if he really was a tweaker, the couch was still free, and that was the most important thing. If we didn't like it, we could just throw it away. I didn't go with Ty and the other guys to pick up the couch, and I'm super glad I didn't. The dude's house was way out in the boonies, way outside of town. And when they got there, the couch was just sitting out in front of this chain link fence, I guess, with a note that said, "For Ty from Facebook." Nobody was around. How weird is that? So they just loaded the couch in the truck and left. But as they were driving away, according to Evan, he saw an old man staring at them from behind the screen door of the house, waving slowly. But not like he was saying goodbye to them, like he was saying goodbye to the couch. When I got home from work that day, the guys were all drinking beers on the couch they'd picked up. Ty asked what I thought about the new furniture, and I told him straight up it was the ugliest fucking couch I'd ever seen. I'm not kidding. I would have traded it for another air mattress in a heartbeat. It wasn't that it was dirty, besides the potential cum stains in the middle of the couch, of course, or that it was falling apart or anything like that. Honestly, it was in great shape considering it was used and free. The thing that grossed me out about it was the fucking leather. It was too fleshy. I know that sounds stupid because obviously leather comes from cow flesh or whatever, but that's not what I mean. I mean that the leather has this really creepy sheen to it, like it's sweating, like the clammy palm of some creep's hand. Still gives me goosebumps to think about it. And the flabby, bloated cushions, they're just, I don't even know exactly how to describe them, but I'll try. In my forensic anthropology textbook, there's this picture of a naked male corpse in the second stage of decomposition, where the body bloats like a balloon with methane and carbon dioxide, nitrogen and stuff. The couch cushions look like that corpse's stomach. And sitting on them felt like I imagined it would. Thinking about feeling that too warm, pliant resistance under my ass as I sink down still makes my skin crawl. For the first week or so we had the couch, I was the only one who thought it was gross. The other guys were just psyched to have a place to sit and watch TV or play the PlayStation that wasn't on the floor. Not me. I wanted nothing to do with it. But then Evan, who I share a very small bedroom with in the apartment, got the flu. And as much as I didn't want to sleep on the couch, I didn't want to get a fever and start pissing out my ass like Evan even more. I didn't want to sleep on our filthy floor either. So I moved my pillow and duvet into the living room for the week. For the first few nights that I slept on that couch, nothing all that eventful happened, except that each morning I woke up all sweaty and with a sore neck. But on the fourth night, I had a nightmare that really fucked me up. In the dream, I was standing in the kitchen of the apartment, looking into the living room. Even though it was pitch black, I somehow knew where I was. As my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I started to make out the shape of something on the couch, or in the couch. It's hard to explain, because when I try to picture what it looked like, the image disappears. But I remember having the impression that some meaty, bulging body or mass of body parts was crawling out from the crack between the cushions and the backrest, and that it was coming for me. The next evening, I took an Advil PM, thinking that if I fell asleep hard enough, I wouldn't have another Cronenberg nightmare stress dream. I can't tell if it worked or not, because I don't know if what I felt that night was real, or a dream, or some conscious hallucination, or some shit like sleep paralysis. I don't fucking know. Maybe you can tell me. Here's what I remember. I woke up, or I dreamt that I woke up, suffocating. There was pressure all around my face, thick and heavy and slick. I opened my mouth to scream, but my lips met something damp and soft, yielding like a fatty slab of rotten meat or a heap of wet clay. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I tried to wrench my head free, but I was stuck. Panic hit hard and instant. I flailed my arms above me, trying to find something to hold on to, but it was like I was moving through molasses, like I was clawing at the air. It sucked at my skin. I could feel something like muscles contracting against my face and my skull, propelling me down deeper and deeper. It was swallowing me. Suddenly I was conscious of a thin opening pressed against my ear like a slippery mouth. It whispered to me. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I swear to God I could feel condensation steam up in my ear from its hot breath. I jerked away, but the walls only tightened and contracted, its skin worming against mine, smothering me. I tried to scream again and gagged as something slick pressed against my tongue. I thrashed around violently, clawing at the surface above me with my free hand. Finally, I got hold of something almost like a ledge. But the harder I pulled, the more it clung. like I was being birthed in reverse. I know how fucking disgusting that sounds, but this nightmare, if it was a nightmare, was disgusting. I feel like I could vomit right now, recalling that moist, dragging pressure against my neck. I heaved my body backward, legs kicking, back arched, and with one final wrench, pop, I broke free. My head came unstuck from the nightmare, and I shot upright, gasping like I had just surfaced from drowning, and I fell to the ground. Now I was awake. I was definitely awake. It took me a second to realize where I was. I was kneeling on the living room floor, drenched in sweat. Next to me, that fucking couch loomed in the dark. I stumbled to my feet and ran to turn on the lamp. Light flooded the room, and in a flash, I saw it. A fucking arm. Swollen, discolored, and lumpy, protruding from the crevice between the backrest and cushion where my head had gotten stuck. I only saw it for half a second, maybe less, before it slipped back into the couch. I didn't wait around to see if it might crawl back out again. Instead, I threw on some sweats and a sweatshirt and my slides, grabbed my phone and my keys, and walked out of the apartment. In the car, I called my sister, who lives like a 20-minute drive from campus. Even though it was 2 a.m., she answered right away. I told her I was having a really hard time, asked if I could stay with her and her boyfriend in their guest room for just a little while, and she agreed. I went back to the apartment the next day to gather my school stuff and some clothes. I told the guys the same thing I told my sister. I was just going through a hard time with school and stuff, and I needed to get away for a bit, which at the time was really what I believed to be the truth. The whole sleep paralysis nightmare thing had scared the fuck out of me, but I rationalized it by saying I was just overworked and overstressed and tired, and it was taking a toll on my psyche or whatever. But when I moved back into the apartment a week later, Ty told me something that makes me think that everything, the figure I saw on the couch that first night, the suffocating, the swallowing, the arm, maybe it wasn't all stress-induced hallucinations. Here's why I think this. The night after I left, Ty had that girl over for the first time. They'd been sitting side by side under a blanket on the couch, watching some movie, when she randomly giggled and said, "Stop, Ty, that tickles." He looked at her confused and asked what she meant. She just snuggled up closer to him and said, "Ha ha, very funny. You can feel me up if you want, but we're not fucking while your roommates are home." At that point, Ty pulled both his hands out from under the blanket, where they'd been folded in his lap, and held them up as if to say, "I'm not touching you." And when the girl saw his hands, she screamed out in pain and shot off the couch, shouting as she did. She started freaking out, screaming, "You really didn't grab my ass? If not you, who did?" She'd felt Ty's hand reach up her skirt and rub her back for a while, then move down to her ass like he was going to try and take off her shorts, and that's when she told him to knock it off. According to the girl, who I'm not naming for privacy reasons, when Ty pulled both his hands out from under the blanket, she still felt the other hand squeezing her lower back, and when she tried to stand up, the other hand grabbed her harder, digging its nails into her skin, clawing at her from below. Ty didn't really believe the whole thing until she showed him her lower back. It was bleeding. Needless to say, we got rid of that fucking couch. And no, we did not just give it to someone else. We took it to the dump, where I would like to think it was destroyed, but when we were dropping it off, I heard some young guy who works there say something to the effect of, "I can't believe what some people throw away. That's a great couch."
Yikes.
Isn't that a weird one?
That is so weird. In the beginning, I was having some good giggles over here about that couch, because I was thinking about during the presidential election, JD Vance fucking the couch. Do you remember those memes?
No.
I God, they're so funny.
Vaguely, but that sounds somewhat familiar, but I can't remember.
Oh God, I was over here just dying.
Oh, okay.
Because this whole time I was just picturing like JD Vance and his college buddies and him fucking a couch. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
I was picturing all the crappy furniture I had just growing up. Or not growing up, in college.
Yeah.
Just like, you would just find, you're like, oh my God, free, because people like every year at Gonzaga, at least at the end of the year, a lot of people didn't have trucks, or a friend that had a truck, I guess, or they just were being lazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And instead of taking their furniture to the dump, they would just put it out on the sidewalk and anybody could have it. It was just, easier for them just to get rid of it that way. And it was something that they had probably found on the sidewalk the year before or in the thrift store. And so, like most of our furniture my senior year was just stuff that we found.
I'm trying to think of what my furniture situation was. Man.
We had some nasty stuff. It was a nasty house.
Yeah.
And the nasty stuff just fit.
Well, my school, is they partnered with local apartments, so they would come fully furnished.
Yeah.
So my first apartment, fully furnished, I just brought in my linens.
Oh, sure.
And then by the time I was out on my own, it was a lot of IKEA. Because it was just like,
yeah.
it was cheap, right? It was LA. So
Yeah,
IKEA was
Ikea,
right
yep,
there.
right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like right in Burbank. And then, when Natasha and I lived together, we started accumulating some weird things, just like
Funny.
random stuff here and there. But mostly it was like, excuse me, mostly it was giveaways from productions. Like,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
we don't need that. So
You probably got good stuff.
we had some pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was no pics attached to the story, but Molly Box, who found this story, she found some pics on Flickr of some couches that she just felt like could be the couch from the story or look like it.
Yeah, like some Ed Gein couches.
Yeah, here's the first one. Yeah, kind of. This one, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Yeah, just old leather couch. This next one, though, so creepy.
Oh, God. It's the color, and then it's the pleating at the back. It looks like a butthole.
Oh, my God.
It's like a puckered butthole.
That's literally what Molly said in her email. She was like, doesn't this couch look like a couple, like, giant buttholes were stitched together? And I was like, yeah, actually.
I'm going to text her afterwards.
Oh, my God.
Thanks for the butthole couch.
Thanks for the butthole couch.
Butthole surfers.
Butthole surfers.
This is where it comes from.
And then this one, just, this one looks like an artsy photo more, but like still creepy.
I was just thinking like, oh man, that would make for such a beautiful photo shoot.
Mm-hmm. Like this old abandoned building with this old, couch in there. You could tell it was all really nice at one time, a long time ago.
Some beautiful people and some lingerie, but like sad.
Oh.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Could be like a Florence and the Machine album cover.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
God, I love her so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also like the note for Ty from Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Like when they picked it up?
Yeah, for Ty from Facebook. That is so like, I feel like that's something like my mom or dad would do.
Yeah.
Like they're just starting to eke into that phase of like,
whatever.
Not totally understanding how the world works anymore. And I mean, my mom tries to keep up. My dad doesn't seem too interested.
Yeah, and I
it depends. It's situational, actually. I should say.
I realize with a lot of people as they get a little older, and like with your dad and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I do feel the pull of this myself, just in little moments. As you get older, it's not even that you can't learn new things. It's not like that people are helpless, but it's just like you just don't care. You're just like, whatever. I'm enjoying my life without this thing, and I just don't feel like learning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a sign like that could just be like, whatever. It's a free couch.
Totally.
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't need to meet him. Like, just being that kind of curmudgeon-y,
Yeah. Well, thank God you have me to keep you from getting too curmudgeon-y.
No, I don't feel like, I actively work against those impulses.
Okay.
I don't want to be a curmudgeon.
No, I don't want you to be either.
Yeah. I've thought, when I was younger, I thought I might want to be a curmudgeon. It doesn't look fun. After living next to a curmudgeon and seeing more other curmudgeons, I'm just like, nah. And as opposed to seeing like old people who are like, so with it and their minds are so active and sharp and bodies too. I was just telling you the other day, I saw that 72-year-old weightlifter online. This woman, I can't remember her name. It was crazy what she was lifting. And she was like tiny too, like tiny and fit.
I love it.
Yeah. It's cool.
I love it. I know. I had been texting with Hope, like, one of our friends, and her mom is somewhere between 86 and 90.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's, I don't know, 70.
Yeah, and very like physically and mentally just on.
Oh yeah, she just like sold her place in LA, moved back to Cleveland, like hanging out with family. She's traveling. She's got her like friend groups. Yeah.
Our friend Ty's dad that he was talking about, he's in his mid to late 70s. He just got married again, but like actually had a wedding.
Love.
After dating, for a while, he's got like a new business he just invested in and stuff.
Awesome.
Yes, just sold a boat, got a new boat.
I love it. Okay, guys, before I dive into these stories, Dan and I both got styes. And
it's so random.
And it's so random. I've never had one. My sty.
I've had them before.
My sty grew like 1,000 heads. It was wild.
Yeah, you had a wild looking sty.
It was insane. My vision was super blurry. It was super painful. And then like just as it would like start to go away, it just kept spreading and just growing. It's like it was like a sty with like a pimple head, and it just kept multiplying. It was so disgusting. I
had never gotten them before the last couple of years, and my dad has gotten them for a long time. I'm like, why now? Because I mean, Monroe was talking about like some friends in high school who will get them sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did I avoid them for so long?
What are we doing differently? So, okay, listeners, if anybody, the reason I'm bringing it up is because not only that, but for this entire year, the inside of my nose has been wrecked. I go through like a couple weeks of being okay, and then the inside of my nose is like, it just feels like it's all cut up.
I think the dog sleeping on our pillows is probably
the dogs don't sleep on our pillows.
Yes, they do. Penny absolutely does. I mean, yeah, every night she tries to get up there on the
Well,
pillow.
she tries to get up there, but we push her away.
No, she slept on the pillow a ton of times, and so is Gigi.
Okay, so do we need to get better about when we make the bed, like pull the blankets up over the pillow so during the day they're not on there?
I don't know. I mean, they sleep on the pillows while we are on the pillows. They just I've woken up.
Well, I push them off.
Right, but they still get up there.
Yeah, but we've had the dogs for like almost 10 years.
We have to put them down. That's the only way we're going to stay safe. We have to put them down tonight after this recording. We have to put them both down and we have to bury them in the yard. Just kidding. No, I don't know. I don't even know if dogs have anything to do with it. Don't try and make yourself cry.
I'm not. I'm just staring at you because you're a disgusting animal.
Okay.
But anyways, I just feel like this is a safe space to say, like, has anybody had this problem where like all of a sudden they come out of nowhere? Because I was like convinced it was like a new eye cream I'm using because it's like they say that it's a blocked oil duct in your eye. But it just feels weird that we're both getting styes and my nose like... Is anybody an ENT who's listening? Please help. Dr. Brady, are you listening? You're a dentist. Can you you're kind of in that space. Can you help?
ENT, ears, nose, and throat is eyeballs. We don't want an ENT. We want an ophthalmologist or something.
Well, it's my nose.
Oh, I was still stuck on styes.
Oh.
Okay.
I just think it's all connected.
All right.
Whatever. I just asked a dentist for help. All right. Let's get into these stories. You got your Layla?
I do.
Who you got over there?
I got a little quilted orange Layla.
No, she's Crochetla.
Crochetla. Okay.
Yeah, I love her. She's my favorite. What's up, Dan and Lindsay?
Hello.
My name is Max.
Max.
I've been an avid listener to all things bad magic since Dan announced the unveiling of Timesuck on his Pandora channel, and I've been hooked ever since.
Man, thank you, Max.
And this is a note from me because as I was preparing this story, I found myself a little bit confused. So I just want to point out to everyone that the story submitter is Max, and that's an important detail to track. It can get confusing later, will make sense.
Got it.
But you could have a moment of like, wait, what?
Max is telling the story. Max. Max is maxing it out.
Max.
Okay.
Like many of your fan submissions, I want to share that I generally try to employ logic and reasoning whenever confronted with something unexpected or unexplained. But that doesn't mean I completely exclude the paranormal as being a suitable explanation. This might be due to the fact that I was raised in a household that promoted both science and the occult, teaching me that the two are not always mutually exclusive. As a child, I can recall a few instances in which I experienced paranormal happenings, most of which occurred between the ages of 11 and 13. On one occasion, right as I woke up in the middle of the night, I saw my mother appear to me as an apparition while she was asleep just one room over. She stared at me for a moment and then promptly dematerialized. On another, while staying at a motel in Santa Cruz, California, near the boardwalk, I witnessed a young girl move through the room like a dim projection toward my sleeping sister. She looked sad, and when she reached my sister's bedside, she knelt, put her hand to her cheek, and then slowly vanished. My rational thinking insists that these two visions were merely conjured by my half-asleep brain, but I also wonder, were they? Or did they manifest themselves independently from me? However, there is one experience that I cannot so easily dismiss as being something caused by lucid dreaming, and that is the time that I met Matthew. I moved with my mom and younger sister to the upper level of an old Victorian-turned duplex in Alameda, California, from our home in Oakland shortly before I turned 11 and began 5th grade as a new student at Washington Elementary. Naturally, I didn't know anyone, but I became fast friends with a boy named James. One day, shortly after classes started, he and another boy named Lawrence, who also became a close friend, passed me on their bikes in front of my house. All three of us were in the same class, and James immediately recognized me. They stopped, and he said, "You live here? That's awesome! We're practically neighbors. I live just at the end of the street. Do you want to hang out with us?" "Oh, that'd be great," I said, and immediately went to get my own bike so I could follow the two of them to James's house. From that day on, we were best friends and did nearly everything together. In fact, we became something more akin to brothers. We've since grown apart a little as my family moved around a lot and therefore didn't have as much time to spend together. But we have kept in touch over the years and we remain good friends to this day. Some bonds become so strong, they never truly dissolve. James and I completed our 5th grade year together, and then we both attended Will C. Wood Middle School. It was during this time that I had a very peculiar dream that feels less like a dream and more like a vision. You know, real, even though it was in my head. It began in a dark void, but one that felt like it had form, sort of like high-ceilinged cube room that was pitch black. The feeling that I had while I was standing in that space was not dread, but peace. At first, there was nothing, but shortly after the dream began, I heard an unfamiliar voice greet me. "Hi, James," it said. Then suddenly, but not alarmingly, a boy appeared, illuminated by a single shaft of light focused only on him. He seemed to be about my age, or maybe just a bit younger by a couple years. I can't exactly recall what he wore, but I remember that it was pretty typical attire for a boy around my age in the late 90s. I could see his entire body, his blonde hair, and the bottom half of his face. His eyes were mostly veiled by darkness, as if the small shaft of light could not penetrate the shadows there. But again, I was not frightened. There was nothing that felt sinister about his presence or appearance. "It's me, Matthew," he continued. "I'm going to stay in your attic for a little while. I hope that's okay." Once he said this, my vision took me from the dark void and into an attic-looking space. I can't fully describe the surroundings, but picture a low, triangular-shaped wooden ceiling with exposed wooden boards as walls. I haven't been in that many attics in my life, but I imagine it looked like a typical, unfinished, small attic used chiefly for storage. I can't remember exactly because the room itself was not essential to the vision. What was important, however, was the interior of the room. There were no earthly possessions in this attic, but a single mattress in the center of the room with a simple white sheet and a pillow surrounded by hundreds of lit candles. It felt like a place of healing and recuperation. After briefly being shown this scene, I woke up. The next morning, I asked my mom if the attic in the house was accessible. She said that the landlady had sealed it off and there was nothing inside. I guess I must be a creeper because I was curious to see what could actually be up there and not afraid at all. A couple nights later, I woke up in the middle of the night to my mom gently shaking me. "I think I saw a ghost," she said. "I heard someone breathing near me, but the breaths were short and punctuated, like someone inhaling sharply in short, soft gasps. I woke up and I saw a shadowy figure standing in my room." She then proceeded to move throughout the house, muttering some sort of cleansing prayer in hopes it would gently push the spirit to move on. I was tired, so after the excitement of what my mom witnessed subsided, I fell back asleep. The next day, after school, I thought about what my mom told me the night before, and I remembered my dream. Something that I had originally suspected about the boy seemed more likely now. Could Matthew be a ghost? I thought it was odd that he had addressed me as James. He seemed so convinced that that's who I was, so I decided to bring it up to my friend. James came over later that day with his mom, and while we were hanging out in my kitchen together, I asked him, "Hey dude, do you know anyone named Matthew?" I asked him. His expression suddenly became both surprised and stern. He looked so seriously inquisitive, which was atypical for him as he was always such a joker and seemingly an unflappable person. "I do," he somberly replied. "He was my friend." He then reached into his back pocket and took out his wallet. He unfolded it and from one of the pockets removed a small photograph. It was a school picture of the boy from my dream. It was Matthew. He looked exactly as he did in my dream, except now I could fully see his eyes. They were clear and blue, but ever so slightly tinged with sorrow, even though he was smiling. "He died a couple years ago," James said. "Not long before you moved here. They're not exactly sure how it happened, but they found him in his room one morning, suspended from his top bunk with a blanket wrapped around his neck. He had suffocated, and the authorities said it was an accident, but I never have been 100% convinced that that was the case. His dad was pretty abusive, and my mom and I wondered if it was truly accidental. I looked at his mom, and she nodded solemnly. He was a sweet kid, but his home life was very troubling. I always worried about him." I was reeling. Matthew referring to me as James, my mom being visited by a specter seeming to be gasping for breath. It all seemed to come together. I couldn't just write this off as a strange, vivid dream. It was somehow all connected. I've often wondered if Matthew was trying to reach James to let him know he was all right, or to connect with him one more time, but couldn't for some reason, and therefore contacted me because he knew we were close and that I would somehow be able to convey a message for him. At any rate, after I told James about my experience, I never heard from Matthew again, so I guess he felt he was able to move on. Since then, I have referred back to this experience when wondering about what lies beyond our physical plane of existence, and it has helped me remember that not everything can be explained by our current understanding of science, and that we still have so much more to learn about the human consciousness and what the universe holds. I hope this story finds its place in your compendium of personal tales of horror and the paranormal, and that it keeps us all questioning and wondering. Your loyal listener, Max.
Thank you, Max. Yeah, those vision ones are vision ones where the vision is from like the past or something too are just so interesting. Where it's like, yeah, what is trying to be communicated here? Or like, not Max, but oh my gosh, James.
Yeah.
Wait. No, like Max said, it just could be like Matthew coming to via Max let James kind of have some resolution. But then just like so strange that like if we ever find out what the rules are, like I hope it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It just seems like why would this spirit have to go through someone else to with all these things, there's just so much mystery and it's just so confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
But just also fascinating.
Yeah, this story, it's so bizarre. You guys I know you can't see me anymore, but reading the story, I've been having such a hard time breathing reading the story. We even paused for a second where I was like, I'm having a hard time catching my breath. And it makes me feel so connected to the story. I don't know if it's just me being so empathetic to
But that doesn't normally happen to you with stories.
I know, but it just, I wasn't even thinking about it until the end. And I was like, oh, right, maybe it's all connected because this is how this boy died.
I know. We had to stop down a couple times recording because Lindsay, I actually asked him, are you okay? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was just very hard to catch my breath.
Yeah,
and I didn't feel that at all when I was preparing this story. But
do you feel that now?
A little bit, but it seems to be dissipating. It's very strange.
It is weird how some of these stories, and there's, I've experienced that too. When I'm recording them.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to cry right now.
Yeah. You look really emotional.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't have an explanation. I'm not having a bad day. There's nothing going on for this to feel this way.
Crazy. It is crazy how the energy can shift so much with some of these stories.
Yeah.
I've had that when I've been working on some where I'm I don't know what it is, but every time I work on this story, and then when I record it, I get goosebumps or something. And on the surface level, it is no scarier or less scary than 1,000 other stories we've worked on here.
Yeah.
But there's just some weird energy with it or between me and the story. It's very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got really upset.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just saying visions and what are the rules? In this instance of this story, I have to wonder if James is not very open or maybe doesn't live in a household that explores different ways of thinking.
Yeah,
where
Max talked about the occult and science together in his house. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if he's open and his mom's open and Matthew is looking for an opening to let James know, I do often think that. It's why can some people see auras and other people can't? And then those of us who can't, I believe, are left feeling well, that's bullshit. Why?
Right.
Why? Because you can't? I can't do fucking chemistry. That doesn't mean chemistry is not real. I just can't happen to do it.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't trained in that. I also wasn't trained or grown up in a house where...
Or physical gifts and stuff. If it's a physical gift where it's I really wanted to dunk as a kid.
Yeah.
I had friends who were the same height as me who could dunk. They definitely didn't work harder than I did. I was doing all the jumping programs and everything, but it's that's just not how my body is built.
Yeah, it's just not a gift you were given.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't have that gift. Yep, but other people do have that gift.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of interesting when you look at it through a different lens.
Yeah, totally.
Uh-huh.
You doing okay?
I think so, yeah. It's
okay.
Very strange. Very strange. Also, we're recording at night. Dan and I have noticed that we, feel more in touch with the show when we record at night.
Yeah, we had this one ready to go in the morning, and I was just when we can avoid recording in the morning, I would like to.
Yeah.
Just from doing it in the past, it just it's interesting with the world of the supernatural. It does hit different at night. Either absorbing it, being the audience member, or performing it. and like reading these stories, and it just, I think the show's better when we record after the sun sets.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, you ready for one more?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, Dan and Lindsay.
Hello.
I've been listening to Scared to Death for a while now, and I finally feel ready to share something that happened to me and my cousin Marcus back in 2016. I'm not using our real names, not because I'm afraid you'll think we're lying, but because my aunt, Marcus's mom, gets really uncomfortable when we talk about this. She's Navajo, and as you probably know, skinwalkers aren't something her people joke about or speak about lightly. But I am not Navajo, and it's been almost 10 years, so here it goes. This happened in the summer of 2016 when I was 18 and Marcus was 19. We were staying with my aunt and uncle on their property just outside of Kayenta, Arizona, deep in Navajo Nation. Their land backs right up to a big stretch of desert that's mostly untouched. You can hike for miles and never see another soul. Marcus and I were both going through some stuff. I had just graduated high school and didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. He had dropped out of school and was working a bunch of random jobs. We were both feeling stuck and restless. We decided to go camping one weekend, just the two of us, out on the edge of their land. My uncle warned us not to go too far. He said it was fine to build a fire and mess around for the night, but to keep close. He didn't explain why, but there was something in his tone that told me he wasn't just being overprotective. I remember he looked over his shoulder when he said it, like he was half expecting something to be watching us from the hills. We hiked out about a mile, maybe a little more. The sun was going down when we found a flat spot near some scrubby juniper bushes. It was a beautiful night, clear sky, warm air, and not a single sound except the occasional wind gust rattling the sagebrush. We made a fire, roasted some hot dogs, and sat around shooting the shit. Marcus started telling stories he'd heard from older cousins about things that stalk the desert at night. He was smirking like he didn't believe any of it, but his eyes did keep darting around in the darkness. After midnight, we heard something. It sounded like footsteps, slow, deliberate crunches on dry dirt. Not a rabbit, not a coyote. Too heavy for that. Marcus killed the fire with a bottle of water and we froze listening. The footsteps stopped. Then we heard a low whistle, like someone trying to call a dog. Except it wasn't friendly. It had this like mocking tone, like it was imitating a person but not quite getting it right. We didn't have any weapons, not even a knife, just a couple of headlamps, our phones, though no service, and now a dead fire. I whispered to Marcus that we should go back to the house. He nodded. We started walking back without using our headlamps or phone flashlights. The moon was bright enough to see, but just barely. Every few steps, I thought I heard something behind us, and also that whistling. It was all closer now. We had picked up the pace when we both heard a voice, maybe 20 feet behind, calling out, "Hey boys, come here a sec." We turned around and my stomach dropped. It was my uncle. Or at least it looked like my uncle. Same jeans, same flannel shirt he'd been wearing earlier, same heavy boots. But his face, oh God, his face, it was all wrong. It was like someone had pulled his skin over a different skull. The eyes were too far apart, too deep set. His mouth hung open in a lazy, unnatural grin. And his voice, when he spoke, was flat, like he was mimicking the rhythm of speech without the emotion behind it. "You boys out here all alone?" it said in my uncle's voice. Marcus grabbed my arm so hard it hurt. I think we both knew right away what we were looking at. We turned and we ran. I mean, we full-on sprinted through sand and sagebrush, scraping our arms on branches, tripping on rocks, not caring. We didn't stop until we could see the porch light of the house. The entire time, we heard something behind us, running, breathing, laughing. That same whistle was so close it felt like it was coming from inside my own head. We slammed through the front door and locked it behind us. My uncle was sitting on the couch watching TV. He turned to us confused and said, "What the hell happened to you two?" Marcus just dropped to the floor trying to catch his breath. I screamed because my aunt scared me, rushing from the kitchen, yelling for us to tell what had happened. When I said we saw someone that looked like Uncle Ben out in the desert, her face suddenly changed. She went pale, like bone white. She didn't ask a single question. She just told us to sit down and to be quiet. And then she went outside and did something with a pouch of herbs and ashes. She walked around the house in a circle, muttering words in Navajo that I didn't understand. After that, nothing else happened, but no one slept that night. The next day, my uncle pulled me aside while Marcus was out helping in the garage. He said something like, "Whatever you saw out there, don't talk about it around my family again. That kind of thing, it hears its name. You give it power by acknowledging it." I just asked him straight up, was it a skinwalker? He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. He stared at me and said, "Next time you hear someone calling your name from the dark, don't answer. And whatever you do, don't look back." I know this all sounds crazy. Believe me, I wish I didn't believe in this stuff either. But I know what I saw. And Marcus saw it too. I try not to think about it. But sometimes, when I'm alone in the dark or camping with friends or even just walking to my car late at night, I swear I can still hear that whistle. Thanks for giving me space to share this, even if no one else believes me. Stay safe, D.
Thank you, D. Man, that image D painted of Marcus's dad, his uncle, dressed like Marcus's dad, had the same face-ish asterisk as Marcus's dad, but like the eyes too deep, the skin pulled like weirdly tight in some spots, loose in others.
Like a little like slack jaw.
Yeah, like the grin not right. For some reason, it just made me flash on like my dad was the first person that came to mind, but like somebody in my family or whatever.
Yeah.
How fucking terrifying that would be.
Oh my God.
To see them in an unexpected place, especially out in the woods or whatever, out somewhere at night. Where you're like, why are you here?
Right.
But to see them, it's like, definitely dressed like they're dressed, like they would dress, have the right like size, shape, all those things. Technically the right face, but have it just be off. That would be so scary. Like that'd be so much scarier than seeing like, in a way, like a definite monster.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least that you can, I don't know, dare I say, trust that it's a monster. But like,
right, you immediately start running, fighting something.
Right, but you see someone that you know and love and trust, but they're not right. Now you're just going to question it. It's like a little doppelganger kind of vibe. Where it's like, is it you or is it not?
I know, it made me think of like a doppelganger, but like one that's not good at assuming the shape of somebody.
That would be like a really funny, like comedic horror movie, just like a shitty doppelganger.
Yeah, like it made me think of like Monsters Inc., but like a scarier, like adult version, like Demons Inc.
Funny,
or like the true monsters.
Yeah,
but they're just not that good at their job. Like the
actually, wait, that is a movie.
Oh, really?
There is a movie, but I mean, I think it's like a kids movie.
That's Monsters Inc., right?
No, Monsters Inc. is an animated Disney movie.
Right. Are you thinking like a kids movie with real actors?
Yeah. Oh shoot, it'll come to me later.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, creepy stories. You told me that you thought tonight's stories were the ones you were sharing were especially creepy, and they were.
Yeah, I remember putting this together and thinking I really liked this one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do some spoopy shoutouts? I mean, some Annabelle shoutouts?
I would love to do some Annabelle shoutouts. Yeah, thank you so much to the Annabelles that support our show and help us do what we do. We continually appreciate you. And I'd like to thank Zeffy, Julie, Adrian H., Alyssa Roca. Makes me think of almond roca, which is one of my grandma's favorite candies.
Cute.
Kirsten Halsey, Jody Johnson, MK Dude K. Almost like if it was another M instead of that K, like Dude and K or something, but like, yeah, MK Dude K. Steve, Ted and Annette Fleming, and then Big, oh my gosh, this is somebody that it's a made up thing, but it's Big Steezy, not the Lil One. Big Steezy, not the Lil One. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go. Hey, thank you, Big Steezy. We love it. We love that you're here.
I would like to thank the following Annabelles for their continued patronage. We can't do this without you. Thank you so much. Hi, but H-I-G-H.
Yeah.
Like,
hey.
Hi.
Like they're high.
Yeah. Or that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a tall ladder.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Up high.
I was thinking they're baked.
Well, that too. Samantha Tinnell, Jennifer Shire, Brian Nunn. Oh man, you've heard all of it. Nunya. Boy, I'm sorry, Brian. Jared Fresh, Amy Vo, Maria Novak, Jennifer Gordon, Caitlin Vernon, and Melinda Doherty.
Melinda Doherty. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yes.
And now some spoopy shout-outs?
Yes, please. To Brandon, from Brandon, happy birthday to me. I'm turning 30. and he says, "We love you, bad magic."
Aw.
And then he says, "Dan, you should just submit to Lindsay."
No.
It's a Timesuck joke. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
she has to submit to me.
I will never. To Debs from Debs, happy 40th birthday. This year's been rough, but 40 will be better. To Leela from your coffee bean, happy birthday. Thanks for getting me into the spooky stuff. Have a great birthday. I love you, Mom.
Aw.
To Jared, aka Grizz from Mego, happy belated birthday. Unicorn-related gifts are out and spoopy shoutouts are in.
Aw.
And then lastly, to all of the wet, hot, bad magic summer
hell yeah.
camp campers from Dan and I, we can't wait to see you guys this week at camp.
Yeah.
We can't believe it's finally here.
Yeah. Oh,
So
God.
pumped.
That's right. We're recording the episode that comes out right before camp.
Yes, yes. So we will see you. And for everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned. Listen closely. We will be talking about Camp 2026 very, very soon.
Cool. And then before I say that's our show, this is my brain just popped in and I wanted to share it. But when you said hi, and I was talking about like, baked or whatever,
Yeah.
I've liked weed for a long time.
Yeah.
But I really love it now. I love it.
Love it.
I really like it a lot.
I think we've learned how to get like a little bit high at concerts. And so then just and then have it wear off.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, I guess it's a vape. I get the terms confused.
Yeah, but I like
a vape or a cart.
I prefer a joint, but the same thing. Joint hits me the same way.
Oh, see, not me. The vape will hit me and then it fades faster. On a joint, I'm high longer.
Oh.
And so I really like a vape for concerts.
Oh, well, I just, I'm a big fan of weed.
Yeah, no, me too. Also, we went to see Alan Stone at the Stone family field trip 2 nights in a row. If you are in the area or have the means to make it, he does it every year. He's been doing, I think he said for like 10 or 15 years now.
Yeah.
It's at the Zephyr Lodge in Liberty Lake. It is this incredible venue. Also, if you're looking for a wedding venue, because that's traditionally what they do there, it is stunning over the lake. But yeah, just we don't know Alan. We're just huge fans of his.
Yeah.
He grew up like in this area. He's a PNW guy. So incredibly talented.
Talented.
Just one of those people that you hear him sing and you think like,
Yeah,
how the fuck are you not selling out arenas? Like, he
yeah.
is unbelievably talented.
He's great.
Super family friendly music also.
Yeah,
so
true.
like I
That's
love that. There's
There were little kids there. I mean,
little kids get into this festival for free. They're running around barefoot. It was just the sweetest thing. So guys, go follow him, listen to his music, be invested. He's a good guy. And just if you can make it next year to
good vibes.
Liberty Lake, I highly recommend. It was a totally affordable, awesome weekend of shows.
There you go.
All right, that's it.
And that's our show. Thank you. I can speak for continuing to send in your personal tales of terror.
That's a lot of words.
To mystory@scaredtodeathpodcast.com. You can email us for everything else at info@scaredtodeathpodcast.com. Thank you to Logan Keith scoring today's show. Thanks to Heather Rylander for organizing the My Story emails. To book editor Drew Atana, polishing and preparing listener stories for book number 6.
No.
Oh my gosh, that's right. This is the first one where I say number 7.
Book number 7.
Insane. Thank you to Olivia Lee for finding the first story I shared this week. To Molly Jean Bach for finding the second. We're on Facebook and Instagram where we post pics that accompany episodes and more at Scared to Death Podcast. We also have a private Facebook group called Creeps and Peepers, full of fellow horror lovers and moderated by the all-seeing eyes who are fantastic. Enjoy your nightmares, Creeps and Peepers. Hope you were scared to death.
Bye.
If spirits threaten me in this place, fight water by water and fire by fire. Banish their souls into nothingness and remove their powers until the last trace. Let these evil beings flee through time and space. Evil may pass through, but hath no home here within, scared to death.
Bad Magic Productions.
It looks like a butthole.
Oh my God.